We unlocked our first heavy character last time, so now let's go ahead and get the rest. Gio's whole thing is his range. His arms are enormous, his special attack has huge range, and basically just his reach is his whole character. Unfortunately, this means that we want to keep our opponents at a distance at all times, because he's not so great up close. He hits hard, but he hits hard at a distance. The rest of his stats are fairly underwhelming. He has average power and he can take an average amount of blows, but his stamina, that's not so hot, and neither is his speed. Keeping your opponent at a distance can be quite a challenge because they know which kind of character you are and they try and get up in your face. Our special attack also acts as a kind of dodge. No high punches can hit us while we use it. Oh goodness. When we get forced into a corner like that as Gio, there's not much we can do because we're not very fast and we're only good at long range. He's definitely one of the harder characters to play as, and I don't really recommend using him. And next we have a pretty bad matchup, but I'm sure I can make it work in our favor. Kojiro here hits the hardest of any of the characters. He is absolutely the strongest character, no argument. The only downside is that he is super slow. Feels like he's moving in molasses. He is really far on one side of the spectrum. He's an extreme. You're only going to be using him if you want power and absolutely nothing else. There's no compromise here. He's even harder to use than Gio, but when you land one of his attacks, it's over. Using him is kind of the ultimate risk-reward strategy. So let's move on to Spice. Spice is the only character who's dominant with both hands, and we can switch hands at any time. It doesn't do anything though, it's just for cosmetic effect. Spice is the fastest of the heavy characters. She's not very fast at all, but she's the fastest of the heavy characters. So that's kind of important. Something else that's important is, as you've seen, computers are deathly terrified of her special attack. Unfortunately, our opponent Azteca is not impressive in any way. He's basically just a better Gio. And now we have the secret character, who's only secret because he's not mentioned in the manual. We have to fight him with the middleweight character. And of course we're going to go with Misha, because Misha's just the best, really. Mr. Crown is practically a god. All of his stats are perfect, and he's just the perfect balance of everything. Misha is a Detroit-style fighter, but we're going to be playing things super defensive while we fight him. There's absolutely nothing that he's not good at. I do believe that speed is the most important stat in this game, though, which is why we went with Misha. Mr. Crown has holes in his pattern like anyone else, and we need to be as fast as possible to exploit them. I would still say he's definitely not the hardest character to unlock. Misha is the hardest character to unlock still, because the computer, when he gets a hold of something fast, it makes really good use of it. And that's also why Mr. Crown is dangerous, but not quite as dangerous. And now we've got a hold of Mr. Crown ourselves, so you better bet we're taking him to ranking. And we're taking him to the Heavy World Cup. So the thing about Mr. Crown is he's basically one giant cheat button. His special attack is absurdly powerful, it hits absurdly fast, and the computers have no idea what to do about it. The only downside is that we need to be a good distance away to start it. But after it starts, we're home free. Spice is actually pretty dangerous. If she hits us with her special while we're in the middle of ours, like that, we're kinda screwed. She has one of the strongest special attacks right behind Kojiro. Again though, if we just keep abusing our special attack, everything's gonna turn out alright. It may seem kind of cheap of me to do this, but, I mean, it kind of illustrates the game's balancing issues. And here we are up against Azteca again. Azteca, like I said, is not special in any way. We walked right into that, that was our fault. He's just Geo with better stats. That's his whole thing. So if you want to play as Geo, but with better stats, that's what Azteca's for. He also can't guard just like Geo. He literally is Geo. And that's it. We've seen everyone, we've done practically everything, there's only a few more things to look at.